Tabletop wargaming has been on the rise in recent years. So what's the hype all about? First commences a lengthy process in trying to understand the rules.
The gameplay is not overly complex, but when one would first enter a game, they'd be very daunted or very baffled as to what's going on. Peter, you consolidated in your shooting phase. You jump back in.
You're supposed to do it in your shooting phase.
No, you're not.
Okay, well, I meant to do it in the other. You know what I meant. I'm shooting.
Fives.
Asshole.
Fives.
He's like,
Five.
You're an asshole. Generally, each unit will have a stat line with stats like weapon skills, ballistic skills, strength, toughness, initiative, leadership, saving throw, wounds characteristics, all these different types of things which sum up the ability of each individual unit in battle.
And
Oh, you can
roll
take
safe,
that
roll
on the
safe.
warrior.
You got one. Roll safe. This one right here.
That one?
Yeah, it hit and you roll the safe. So we'll get that and roll for leadership for pin. I'll take your guy.
Generally, in each turn, there will be 3 phases: the movement phase, the shooting phase, and the assault phase. In the movement phase, you pretty much move units. Most units will have a ground movement of 6 inches, as in that's how far they can walk or run in that one turn. Some units will have jet packs or jump packs, which can move 12 inches a turn, and certain vehicles can move quite quickly, maybe 24 inches, 2 feet in a turn. The close combat phase, pretty much your guys charging into battle. Most units can move an extra 6 inches to charge and engage the enemy, and you compare weapon skills to see whether or not you can hit your opponents, and you compare strength versus toughness values to see whether you can wound your opponent. And then against all hits, you would have a saving throw. Maybe your save would be 4+, which means if you rolled a dice and got a 4, 5, or 6, the blow would be deflected by their armor. In all cases, shooting and close combat, there's certain attacks which may or may not penetrate armor.
Stop it. You die.
That's a 4, you bonehead.
Open topped.
making it 5, it doesn't
As in,
work.
it changes the armor penetration roll? You don't get +1 to your penetration rolls.
You know what I mean.
You penetrated?
He did nothing.
Oh.
He stinged.
Bing!
And this is the machine that goes boing. It's a fairly simple system, but it's not. It takes getting used to.
So now that we know how to play the game, and are perhaps even interested in starting, what does it take to collect an army? Apparently, wargaming has its expenses.
The wargaming hobbies are generally very expensive. Usually box sets of maybe around 16 to 20 miniatures will be around $30. Vehicles are often around $50, all in Canadian, of course. It's not cheap, but it's very enjoyable. The end result is very fulfilling. It's not wasting money because you're actually taking these models home and you're painting them and you're assembling them. After you're finished collecting an army, you'll probably have dropped about $300.
Well, sometimes I get a monthly allowance and I save up to get certain guys I want, but Mom doesn't give it to me very often anymore.
But it's all good. It's all great.
So with costs covered, we enter the world of wargaming. What range of players will we encounter? Talent ranges from the amateur.
As a gamer, I would rate myself kind of low, around the 3 out of 10 or so, because I suck and everybody knows I suck, and I suck.
To the average?
As a gamer, I'd rate myself as, out of 10, a 7, 7.5, because I'm not too bright in regards to strategic approach, but I know basic rules and I know my enemy, so that gives me the upper hand.
To those who fancy themselves as aces of the game?
I wouldn't say their tactical abilities will be superior to mine or even equal. But since I know them so well, there's a higher chance that I'll win, that I know my opponent, what situations work best with certain units. As a gamer, with my Dark Eldar, I would say I am a very good player.
And finally, to sum things up,
I like the game because it's a good pastime. You got painting, assembling, it's really good with creativity, and it's war.
Yeah. What is good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. What is good for?
When? Oh, Michael, stop being an asshole. No, go ask real questions.
That's gonna be in there somewhere.
No,
Okay.
it won't. If you put in there, I'll personally kill you. I want to see this documentary.